let's get on your feet. The driver's been working hard all day. They've been frustrated. They want to pass cars. Now let's see who will be able to do it. You got cars with fresh tires, cars with adjustments, cars up front that have to hang on, desperate cars that have to hang on to playoff spots. It's cutoff time, it's race time, it's checkered flag coming up time. Who's going to do it? The pace car going to turn off and head down pit road and get out of harm's way. Here they come. Wave those hats. Let's make some noise. Charlotte Motor Speedway, the Bank of America. California guys up front, but the first car is Kevin Harvick, who sits through turns 7 and 8. World winning his championship a year ago. Now he's leading as Christopher Bell. It's a chrome horn to Tyler Reddick for second.
He doesn't get around him. It is still out front. Kevin Harvick second. Now Christopher Bell. Does he have enough time? Less than 2 laps.
Trouble at turn 7.
It is. It's a Ty Dillon that is spun around as the race stays green, and Kevin Harvick goes down the back straight.
Yellow flag is out right now for the 4th time today. That span brought out the yellow flag. So we are going to have a green-white checkered finish here at the Bank of America Roval 400. We also have a wild scramble in the point standings. Austin Cindric, as of the moment, has moved up to 8th. And he would be the final car in. Kyle Larson is +7, slipping out. Daniel Suarez, that spin cost Chase Briscoe. He's -12.
Briscoe fell all the way back to 25th. And oh my goodness, has the complexion of this race and the complexion of the fight to make the round of 8 changed here in the closing laps of the Bank of America Roval 400.
Got down to 5 laps to go, Mark. We got our first yellow flag of the day that wasn't a stage break, and that has tipped everything. You saw Chase Elliott get out of line in turn 7, slide through the grass. His chance of winning disappears. Kevin Harvick, who's kind of hung out in the top 5 today, suddenly inherits the lead.
You remember the divine intervention that you said Christopher Bell would need? He is at number 2 right now. That car is fast, and Christopher Bell knows it's win or nothing. Truex is on pit road, smoke pouring out of his car. Let's go right now.
Yeah, the right side was pretty much on the ground over this race car right now. They were able to get it jacked up pretty easy. They're going to have to change those tires for him. They're taking a good look at it. The left front, or the right front rather, was completely down. The carcass had separated from the sidewall, so they're going inside there to see what they need to do to fix to get it back out there. Brett McMillan waiting for Chase Briscoe to come down pit road. He just absolutely had an exclamation that I cannot repeat on the radio once the caution came out. He is incredibly frustrated, as you guys pointed out, as he went from in the playoffs to out of the playoffs. They're expecting him to come down and pit and put new tires on that car. Alan Cabana?
when I started this day, I went and saw crew chief for Christopher Bell, Adam Stevens, in the hauler, and he says, look, we are in a must-win situation. All we could ask for is to be on the first few rows at the end of this race, and look where the 20 car is now. They just pitted on that last one and restarted 12th. They are now in second, going for the lead and possibly advancing in the playoffs, Wendy Venturini.
Ryan Blaney actually chuckled on the radio when the caution came out. He said, this is insane out here. He is 34 points to the good, but also continuing to get updates from his team exactly who on the racetrack could possibly pass him, because you are never safe, as we see, until the checkered flag falls.
Getting a chance to look at the replay, Chase Elliott's problems down there in turn number 6. He had help. Tyler Reddick got into him and sent the Napa Chevrolet spinning.
Tyler Reddick got into his inside, turned Chase Elliott around, and he spun into the grass up there on the exit of turn 6. And Chase Elliott now, no chance to win this affair. Let's go ahead and take you through the field, as we will be going to NASCAR overtime here on the Roval. As they stand right now, Kevin Harvick is the race leader. Christopher Bell, who if he wins, would, by virtue of winning, advance into the playoffs. Tyler Reddick is 3rd, A.J. Allmendinger 4th, Justin Haley 5th, Kyle Busch is 6th, 7th is Christopher Buescher, Cole Custer 8th, Austin Dillon 9th, and Brad Keselowski rides 10th.
Bubba Wallace has scored 11th, 12th, Ty Gibbs, Austin Cindric 13th, Denny Hamlin 14th, Ryan Blaney's in the 15th position with Michael McDowell 16th, Martin Truex Jr. He came on the pit road, so he's going to be falling to the field curve. He scored 17th, followed by Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Noah Gragson with Joey Logano 20th.
21st will be Eric Jones. William Byron is 22nd. 23rd is Chase Briscoe. Ty Dillon is 24th. 25th is Almirola. Chase Elliott fell all the way back from running 3rd at the moment to 26th. He is the last car on the lead lap. Corey LaJoie is 27th. Mike Rockenfeller is 28th. 29th is Harrison Burton. And Todd Gilliland is 30th.
Then you have Josh Williams, Loris Heseman, J.J. Yaley, Connor Daly, Kyle Larson being scored 5 laps down, as is Daniel Suarez. Ross Chastain -9. Joey Hand is out, and Daniel Kvyat is out as well. And NASCAR has red flagged this race. They have stopped the field on what is the back straightaway of the Roval.
Yeah, Mark, they've got an issue with the entry to turn 11 over here, and they got like 7 or 8 guys out there. Now they've rolled a huge truck full of tires out there, so there is a problem with the racetrack as you would make that hard left-hand turn into turn 11 and then back to 12. So they are certainly going about their business of trying to repair the racetrack.
All right, we'll see how that elongates. And this race had been caution-free except for the stage breaks until we got with 5 laps to go. And now we've had 2 yellow flags. Let's go down on the speedway now to Wendy Venturini.
One of the drivers I have on pit road, Eric Jones, not a player in this, but definitely giving some feedback on the radio. He said, I don't know what we're doing on these restarts. Drivers are just piling into each other. They're not making moves. So the restarts from the driver's perspective is a little bit crazy out there. You continue to hear the updates that the drivers are getting and what Christopher Bell could possibly play into this if he does win it and come out from the bottom of the championship points to race his way in. But a lot of chatter on the radios right now during this red flag.
I want to remind you, next Saturday, October 15th, we're in Las Vegas. Cup Series practice and qualifying, 12 o'clock Eastern time. Later on that day at 2:30 Eastern, it is the Alsco Uniforms 302. And on Sunday, the South Point 400 opens up the 3rd round of the NASCAR Cup Series playoff, and airtime for PRN is 1:30 Eastern time. I'm Mark Garrett with Doug Rice. Our turn announcers today, Nick Yeoman, Mark Janes, Doug Turnbull, Rob Albright, and Pat Patterson. Great work on pit road from Alan Cavano, Wendy Venturini, Brad Gilley, and Brett McMillan.
And we are waiting out a red flag here for some track repair on the backstretch chicane. They are having to replace what they commonly call here the turtles or the rumple strips. Apparently part of one had come disconnected, and they are working on that right now.
Let's go down to Alan Cavana.
And I'm with the crew chief for Christopher Bell, Adam Stevens. We talked this morning. You said all you wanted was a chance to be on those first few front rows at the end of the race. You have that. How's your car? How's your driver?
Driver's great. Car is okay. I like our spot we're in on tires here. That's going to bode well for us, I think, if we can get through this first corner. Kind of gave them about a 5th to 8th place car, and trying to make a silk purse out of a sow's ear, my dad would say.
How advantageous can those tires be from the wear you've seen today?
It's not so much the wear. They just degrade so much. The lap times were falling off quite a bit, and that was obviously the longest run of the race that we've had. So you saw the tires blaze up through there. So hopefully we can get a clean restart.
Christopher Bell, one option and one option only, and that's to go out and win, Brett.
And here with Matt Zwiderski, he's the crew chief for AJ Allmendinger. Well, he's not still in the front row, but he's in the second row. He's still got confidence in this guy. He's a pretty good road course racer, isn't he?
Oh yeah, I'll take AJ anywhere near the front like that when it comes down to the end. 20's got tires, so he'll be tough to beat. But if anybody can do it and give him a run for the money, it's definitely AJ.
How do you explain a race like this? I mean, how do you call a race like this as a crew chief when everything's going so smooth and all of a sudden all hell breaks loose?
We've been talking about it up here for a while. We knew that, it was going to be caution free up until about 10 to go, and then something like this was going to happen, and then cautions breed cautions. So you just try to be up there at the end, and we had a shot at till the floor pushed us off there. But closing laps, you got to do what you got to do.
It'll be fun watching it. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
We had a good look at some of the cars out on the back straightaway sitting there. They all have pink window nets. It's called Windows of Hope. It's a charitable foundation that Kurt Busch has to raise money for breast cancer awareness and, of course, breast cancer testing and screening and anything that goes along with that. Of course, we're in that month, and again, it's really cool all the teams are pitching in that way, because when the race is over, they'll take the nets out and they'll auction them off.
Big salute to Kurt Busch for coming up with that program. The rumble strips are being repaired, and it looks like everybody is pulling away. Sorry, I called it Rumpelstiltskin strips a moment ago. My bad.
I tell you what, here's what I'm thinking right now. So Austin Cindric is sitting here. Okay, I'm +4. I'm finally above the cut line. But there is the guy sitting down there in 11th, minus 28 points, Christopher Bell, about maybe to land the Hail Mary pass.
If Christopher Bell wins this, then right now Austin Cindric is the guy that gets turned out to pasture, maybe. But Mark, the way these restarts have been and the complexion of this race changing so dramatically, I don't know. We could have an effect all the way up to where Kyle Larson is at +7. There was a time there for a moment or two that Larson had fallen below the cut line.
Larson is 5 laps down in 35th, so he's not going to progress forward, certainly in any way, shape, or form here in the closing laps. But I like what NASCAR has done here, Doug. Instead of just cars traveling around and lap after lap, and then maybe putting some of the teams into a bind with their Sunoco fuel mileage, they've stopped the cars, and that way everybody's got a fair shot, at least 1 or 2 overtimes if we go there. And at this point, we wouldn't have an overtime. They'll come by, there'll be 3 to go. I got a feeling NASCAR's just going to let them rip the next time by. We'll have to see.
We're looking at this, and it's very curious, Mark, because so many of the players up in the top 5 of this race, actually most of the players, with the exception of Christopher Bell, he's got a shot. He could make this if he wins. Harvick's not in the playoffs. Reddick, Allmendinger, Justin Haley, Kyle Busch. None of those cats are playing for playoff money. Chris Busch not in. Cole Custer, Austin Dillon. So the top 10, there is one driver that could conceivably advance in the playoffs. So we're going to have another playoff race by, in all likelihood, won by a non-playoff driver, unless Christopher Bell wins.
Christopher Bell in pretty good shape now with tires, certainly with a little more fuel than these guys as well. We are in overtime. Again, the race distance is 109. We're stuck here at 108. They'll come by. That'll make it 109. And then, of course, our green, white, checkered flag finish. Our first one. Hopefully our only one, but our first one.
This race was very calm, as we said, only 2 yellow flags throughout the entire event till we got to lap 105. We got a debris caution for one of the advertising signs getting on the track, and then we had some other problems with Ty Dillon and a couple of other cars that brought out the 4th yellow flag of the day. We did, as you said, Mark, we had a chance to go back and review what sent Chase Elliott spinning, and it was contact there from I believe it was Tyler Reddick that got to his inside. It wasn't like, I don't feel like it was one of these malicious things that, hey, I'm going to punch you, but it was go time, and Tyler was going.
One of those situations, Doug, stage 1, halfway through stage 2, Tyler Reddick goes, okay, you're squeezing me a little bit, I'll let you go.
Well, while they chat a little bit about it, our own Monica Palumbo is down in victory lane, getting ready for the driver to pull in eventually down right there to where they all dream of. Hey, Monica, what's up?
That's right, hanging out here in victory lane. We've been here a while. We didn't expect all this to happen. I know you race fans wanted something chaotic to happen? Well, it has happened. So we're hanging out in victory lane, getting ready for the winning driver to pull in. But I want to show all you race fans right behind me. We've got the winning trophy. Of course, Bank of America is in Uptown Charlotte. This trophy right here mimics the actual building in Uptown Charlotte. Now, if you're a true Charlottean, I'm born and raised here in Charlotte, we still call it downtown. So in downtown Charlotte, this is what the building similarly looks like, especially the top of this particular trophy. Now, this trophy is heavier than it looks. So when you see these winning drivers get out of their car and they try to grab this thing and lift it up over their head, it's probably, I would say, 100 pounds. It's a heavy bad boy, but it's beautiful. And somebody out there that's sitting in their car right now, they're going to be pulling here into victory lane, and they're going to be winning that beautiful trophy today.
They're all getting new tires. Joey Logano's got right side tires on, 4 tires for William Byron. Chase Briscoe, who spun, is getting 4 tires as well. They're topping off with some fuel. Joey Logano's got some crew doing some work on the right side of that car. He must have got some damage on the right side, so they're spending some time over there. It's a pretty significant amount of time that they're spending on the right side of his car as he still sits here on pit road.
Doug, the guys who just pitted are counting on more than one overtime in this race, right? Because the only way that pays off, if there's a problem, they get to move up with the fresher tires as well.
We were talking after the 3rd caution of the day that the teams from like 15th on back decided to come in. What do you have to lose? They may pile up down in turn 1. Well, we had a car spin out in turn 1. We've had other problems out on the racetrack today, and it's fallen and put some of those contenders back into the mix here as we get down to what will be NASCAR overtime.
So the pace car working through turn 8, will the lights come off? Yes, they do. Kip Childress has flipped those lights off. That 2022 Toyota Camry TRD pace car. So here we go. Kevin Harvick is going to line up on the inside of row number 1. To his outside is going to be Christopher Bell, Tyler Reddick 3rd, AJ Allmendinger 4th. Then in row 3, Justin Haley, Kyle Busch. Row 4, Chris Buescher, Cole Custer, Brad Keselowski, and Bubba Wallace are going to line up in row number 5 with Cindric, Gibbs, Hamlin, Blaney, McDowell, the rest of our top 15.
Right now, the person on the bubble is Austin Cindric, and he is being shown for the moment 6 points to the good. Daniel Suarez is -5. He can't move up at all anymore because he's -5 laps down. He's also -5 points. So Cindric, the person on the bubble at +6, but that all changes if Christopher Bell wins this race. Then Cindric most likely would get bumped out.
Cindric has to hope he doesn't get run over, and he has to hope, as you just mentioned, that Christopher Bell does not find a way to win this race. If he does, Cindric is out.
Well, Pat Patterson, you got the veteran up there in Kevin Harvick, 60 wins under his belt. And Christopher Bell, that's been to victory lane a couple of times.
Well, and what else could you ask for? That's why you don't leave until you've seen the last lap of the checkered flag, as I've said many times. Uncle Chick says in situations like this, where somebody's really going to get their feelings hurt, I've got a feeling a whole bunch of people could possibly have that happen. Irregardless, they're on their feet. We're ready to see who's going to win the Roval this year.
Toyota pace car dives onto the pit lane here with 2 laps to go here in the Roval. It's green, white, checkered flag. It'll be Kevin Harvick down.
Kevin Harvick sitting right behind him in 3rd. AJ Allmendinger, then Kyle Busch right 4th. Bell, the lead is going to
He's third with fourth place A.J. Allmendinger.
Christopher Bell seems to be headed for a miracle that none of us could have predicted just 5 laps ago. He died to the bottom of the racetrack in the middle of turns 9 and 10. Now as he exits turn 10, huge advantage over Harvick.
The sign is clear. Christopher Bell was meant to win it today as he gets into turn 11, through turn 12, powers up to turn 13. Here comes C. Bell working his way into the next round of the playoffs.
Christopher Bell came into Charlotte needing a miracle, and he found one as he cruises into turn 15. Christopher Bell will pick up the win. He went back to the round of 18. We see last year's champion put aside, and Christopher Bell, who came in, the only way he could advance was to win, and he did so.
What a gutsy run by Christopher Bell. See Bell win and move on, do not win and go home, and he scores the win here at the Bank of America Roval 400 here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Christopher Bell advances to the round of 8 and adds his name to the winners list here at America's Home for Racing. Great win for Christopher Bell, picking up the victory.
Kid from Oklahoma, grew up racing midgets out there in the Midwest and running all over the place, and now it's a wildly crazy finish. As expected, the Roval will always find a way to entertain, and after all we watched, waiting and waiting, Roval came through and then some. With a unique winner, first-time winner of the Roval, fantastic finish.
Christopher Bell picked up the win earlier this year when New Hampshire locked him into the playoffs. His previous win to that, this is his third career win. His previous win was at the road course at the Daytona International Speedway back in February of last season. So Christopher Bell picks up the win. When we look at the playoffs, Chase Briscoe is in. Kyle Larson is out as far as the playoffs. Christopher Bell, donuts anyone. As Bell brings the car down the front straightaway, he's burning the hides right off that thing. Christopher Bell